Dear Marcy, so what use is emotion? What use is anything? Oh, I'm not understanding anything anymore. Even as perceptions stream in at all angles, all hours, all pores, all doors to the soul in mortal anguish, while nobody is understanding anything. The only question is when to kill oneself. Not only is there no escape from perceiving, but the only way to deal with pain is to kill oneself. And now you are thinking about suicide, about your sadness that isn't self-pitying, but simply suicidal. I fell in love with your undaunted pessimism. You never wanted any sympathy, just to be left alone. And your face had this scorched, depleted, devastated, mauled, ragged beauty, which I'll never be able to forget. Your jagged features are etched in my mind. So are your words. When you said you can't sleep at night because of nightmares of dead fathers and brothers waving their bloody limbs. And when you said in the morning that you were sick and couldn't get up. And when you talked about your grandmother, you were a gorgeous, manic, depressive. And I was just a Boy Scout, an innocent bystander that wanted to help a soul in trouble. When I saw your tear tracks in the morning, saw this beautiful creature lost in wild bummers, and I had to help, I was so struck by this. Ouch. I can still see you and hear you and start getting crazy myself and have to divert myself to stop thinking about your gorgeous, sad face and how you triggered my migraines because of crying. As society becomes depersonalized and there are fewer and fewer baseball players with nicknames, my chance diminishes for real personal rapport. Still, I have my desires and my inner life. If no one can ever share these, neither can they take them away. Meanwhile, you're waking up hungover and suddenly realizing all the failures of last night and your deep depression, and there's no escape from the troubles of you and your family, and once there were a few victories every now and then, but now it's defeat after defeat, and you're only getting older, and mostly you're lonely. You're so terribly lonely, but simply want to be alone. You walk around, not understanding anything anymore. I hear your dark voice and watch you cock your head. On TV, perceptions pour in like this too. No way to deal with the pain. My consciousness is seeping out without my ever having understood what came in. Emotions in baseball games. I'm crying as I watch the commercials. I walk in the door. I am your teacher. Push your titties together. Pinch the tips of your titties. Take off your skirt. Suck me. Rub your clit. Turn over and show me your pink asshole and pussy underneath. Play with your clit. My hands are rubbing your tits. My lips are touching your lips. My lips are your lips. We are crawling in and out of each other through our lips. You masturbate and come hard. You are letting loose every kind of emotion. Love is an emotion. And Kathy Acker walks through London rain in scruffy black cowboy boots. Then, the UFO. Even as you know all this is preposterous, it has the cold pinch of reality. It's all happening all over again, just like you're walking down your own street. But when you walk down your street and look up at the cold, windy sky, it's about to start raining again, you see something new. You see the lights, the beautiful architectonic design of lights on the large, flying, interconnecting diamonds, dancing harlequin diamonds of light in the sky, coming down and silently resting on the corner next to the Champion Auto Parts store. Now a crowd gathers round, your neighbors and the shopkeepers, and people off the bus, and a hush falls over the crowd as a cool, blue, throbbing panel slides down invitingly. You long to enter there, and you start to move forward, but you feel the fear and censure of the crowd, all your family and friends. Once you go inside and that thing flies off, you'll be gone forever. I'll never see you again. I break into tears and they splatter on the sidewalk. The buildings close in around me. I wander home to bed. Okay, here's one more video. Let me fucking out of here. Out of her. Out of this vagina tunnel to nightmares with stalactites like piercing doubts and guilts. Out of this chamber of horrors in my lonely mind, my lonely cave, where figures from my Catholic past flit like phantoms across dreams and desires. Like long lines of Catholic kids, the boys in one line in salt and pepper slacks, corduroy slacks, the girls in another in blue plaid jumpers, all with their hands pressed tightly together to keep the devil out as they file into First Communion, with the nuns hovering like lanky black spiders around a web that links young minds to the deep, awesome, and evocative Catholic archetypes. All the rituals and mysteries distilled through hundreds of years of holy mumbo-jumbo and injected, infected into kids' minds as they pass down the church aisle or sit in class, hearing Sister Rachel describe how when the communists come, they'll line us all up and ask each of us if we believe in God. And if we say yes, they'll shoot us on the spot. And if we say no, we'll burn in hell forever. Thus, we must keep alive this mortal fear of bad thoughts, nasty thoughts, bad boys, don't touch the girls, keep away from the girls. The girls are beautiful, but not to touch, not to think about. I must not think bad thoughts. I must not think bad thoughts. I must not think bad thoughts. But I can't stop thinking about all the girls in the world. Cuties of the universe. Come on. I'm driving in my car and I see you. I'm looking out my window and I see you. I'm talking on the phone and I hear you. I'm walking through life and I see you. My soft little sister of the womanly universe. Hot babe sticking out through your moon roof. Hot sister lady, little baby darling girl. Come stand before me. Bend and twirl below me. My ardor stands strong and trembles in a pink light with pink lips that grab, a heart-shaped pout that parts and widens, eyes loosened to flutter and ascend into black lashes, set of fingers with hard nails that hold me, long painted ladies' nails I can crunch into. Bang, bang, bang them in the bed, this soft collapsing that won't stop, rhythmic whirlpool. And all that glorious, sexy stuff. You come crawling around here, you come walking in, and stand before me in your white skin to whisper things I'll never understand by hearing them. by you loosing them in my mind until you lose them in my spreading soul, capital S, or something big, capital B, I bleed into, a body, capital B, because I love it all, capital A. I seem to seep out and blend into a universe that blinds me, like these bright, piercing eyes that talk to me, tell stories through the skin. And I love the universe, all caps. I want to talk back to it. I want to listen to the soft whimperings of this moistened, ass-fucked cutie of the universe. Doll, precious girl, thing of the world. Make it make me happen all over the place, all over again. And I shudder with thoughts about love, strings of inarticulated signs and sounds, needing you to touch me, like Vanna. Vanna who? Vanna White. And bring them up. Touch the vowels within me and revolve them out and into the air. Solve the puzzle. Release the words silent inside me. My lady of the court, calling me forth. My virgin of the world, holding her serpent, waiting in her chamber in the night. I crawled through a soft castle cave looking for light, until desire I sought not, bang, enthralled me. And I am the vassal appointed to fill this, my female vessel, haloed by the moon. And I moan and holler at home, and you're there, you, woman of the world, little girl, your head ducked in my chest, your legs wrapped in writing to the expanding music. The jaw love trance dance when the Rastafari stops singing and the drums are banging in sync and the dub echo guitar is ringing out beyond the limits of time. That's the way you love me in the pinch. Make me sing about it. Wow. Thank you. Okay. That's pretty much it. But do you guys want to do a Q&A? I don't know. It seems customary at PRB. But we don't have a microphone.
That's fine.
You have a question?
Yes. So why, you wrote this in the 80s, and did you change anything, or is this a reprinting, or whatever?
Such a great question is, I wrote it in the 80s, and did I change anything? The answer is no, I didn't change anything. Because that would have kind of defeated the whole spirit of it, I think. You know, like once you start to change something, well, where do you stop, you know? So I didn't censor it, first of all, or I didn't even make any dumb little changes, just typos. So it is what it is. It is what it was.
So why now?
Why now what?
That, you know.
Why
it's
publish it
coming
now?
out Yeah.
Why? Ask Kenny.
Okay, I just wondered, was
yeah.
it something that was, I mean, this is the second printing, right?
Pardon?
Is this the second printing of it?
Yes, this is the, but I mean the first, we are now into our, Hetty's back there. We are now into our second printing, but the first printing just came out a month ago, so it's all new.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I see.
Okay, I know what you're saying. Originally there was a few chapbooks. There was like a couple chapbooks and then just like some magazine pieces that it came out in way back then. And so those were called From Fear of Kathy Acker and More Fear of Kathy Acker, because they were from this larger work which never got published. So now it's published and it's The Complete Fear of Kathy Acker. This gentleman right here.
Oh, I wasn't asking a question.
Oh.
I was just cheering you on.
Oh. You're obligated to ask a question if you raise your hand. So.
Yes.
Okay. This person right here has a question. John.
Yeah, I had a quick question about William Shatner's comment.
William Shatner's come?
Yes. Well, more specifically, sort of how the world filters into your work, right? Whether it's these like hologram versions of celebrities, or if it's real people, right? Friends, people you know, or a place, Los Angeles, like how that filters into your work. Is that something you think about while you're working? Something you think about after you're working? Something you think about someone seeing themselves reflected in his text? Do you think about that?
So, in other words, to paraphrase, how do I think about like the celebrities in particular when I'm?
Sure, or real people, or just anything in the world kind of filtering through your mind.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. It's all filtering through my mind, and then the narrator is not I guess I should say the narrator is not necessarily Jack Skelley, but all these things were happening to me when I wrote it. I wrote it in kind of a burst over about a year and a half. So, I mean, just to take the William Shatner thing as an example, it never happened. But I did, I know. But it's kind of set at where I did work at the time, which I worked at Beyond Baroque, which is the art center in Venice. So I'm kind of imagining myself, or whatever the author is imagining, the narrator is imagining himself in his office in Venice. And then he just goes crazy with William Shatner and Marie Osmond. And I have a thing about Marie Osmond anyway. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
We have time. Oh, here's a question.
Hey, how did you see the role of Los Angeles and the sort of topography, geography of Los Angeles when you were writing it, and how do you see it today?
So the question is, how did I see the role of Los Angeles at the time when I was writing it, and how do I see it today? People ask me that one a lot. I mean, it's definitely all about Los Angeles, and kind of almost everything, much of the shit I write, aside from this, is about Los Angeles, because Los Angeles is just like part of me, and anybody who lives here, or especially if you grew up here, it's kind of you internalize the city, you know, so it's all, that's what, do you have the map?
Yeah.
The map is here, is the Fear of Kathy Acker map of 80s Los Angeles, basically. And then many of the characters, William Shatner's not in it, but many of the characters are in there. So it was, so, you know, as I was experiencing life at that time in Los Angeles, it's a lot of those places and people are in there. A lot of my friends are in there. Dodger Stadium is in there. Torrance, Venice. The characters constantly driving around. Somebody said, I'll just end the response to your question by saying this. Somebody said to me, it all is imagined. Like, he said to me, he thinks that the entire thing is like an acid flashback, and it's all happening in Jack's mind. And if you read the part about Dodger Stadium, he never actually makes it up the hill on Stadium Way to Dodger Stadium, because his car threatens to overheat, and then he talks about being in the Dodger Stadium of his mind. Mind. Here's a question.
What's your favorite baseball player nickname?
Oh.
I'm going to throw that question to Benjamin.
Raul Mondesi.
Raul Mondesi? I don't have a baseball player favorite nickname, but I have plenty of dumb puns about baseball players. So the Dodgers a few years ago had an outfielder named Andre Ethier. So my bad pun about Andre Ethier, when he made a great play, was easier said than done. Sorry. Anything else? Yes.
Why Kathy Acker?
Okay, that's great. So Kathy Acker is not, the book is not really about, why Kathy Acker? The book is not about Kathy Acker. And some people here knew Kathy Acker. I didn't know her. And I was inspired by her writing at the time, along with the writing of many other people. The whole book is just like this stew of incoming stimulus, you know. And Kathy Acker was one of them. But there are definitely, you can, if you know Kathy Acker's work, whatever, you kind of can trace like parts of her style. And the part I read tonight where take off your skirt, you know, pinch your titties, I'm your teacher. That's actually, I stole that from Kathy Acker. It's a little passage from Blood and Guts in High School. Yeah, it's a great book. Anything else? Are we ready to party? That's it. Thank you so much.